When I started looking for a job, I never expected to fall into something I couldn't control. I needed a paycheck, a fresh start, not a distraction, not a complication, and definitely not someone who would undo me from the inside out. But after he kissed me that night, everything changed. The lines blurred, the rules broke, and suddenly, the world I thought I knew was gone. What started as tension, as this quiet push and pull between us, turned into something undeniable, something dangerous. It all began when I came to the city to find work. The moment I stepped off the bus, it hit me like a freight train. Horns blaring, bodies rushing, voices tangled in chaos. The air was thick with exhaust and the greasy scent of street food, coating everything in a layer of grime. The city was alive, pulsing, relentless, and I was just one more speck swallowed up by its towering skyline. My grip tightened around the strap of my duffel bag as I tried to get my bearings. Uncle said the bar was downtown. Exclusive, tucked between two skyscrapers. Should be easy to find. But already the buildings were blending together, glass and steel stretching endlessly upward like silent giants. And I felt small. My phone buzzed in my pocket, snapping me out of the daze. Uncle, you there yet? Me. Almost. I typed back, even though I had no clue where I was. Typical me, biting off more than I could chew. Just as I hit send, a motorcycle tore past. Way too close, way too fast. The wind slapped against me like a whip, nearly knocking me off balance. My heart slammed into my throat. "Watch it!" I yelled, but the rider didn't even flinch. He just kept going, weaving through traffic like he owned the road, like people like me didn't even exist. I steadied myself, a cold sweat prickling the back of my neck. It felt like the city was daring me to fail, to admit I didn't belong. But I wasn't going to let it win. Not today. Then I saw it. The bar. Hidden in plain sight, just like Uncle said. Sleek, understated, the kind of place you'd walk right past unless you knew it was there. A black sign hung above the door with elegant silver lettering. Nocturne. No neon, no gimmicks. Just confidence. I squared my shoulders, grabbed the handle, and stepped inside. The noise outside disappeared in an instant. In its place, soft conversation, the clink of glass, and smooth jazz drifting from unseen speakers. Everything about Nocturne whispered luxury. Dark mahogany tables, a marble bar gleaming under dim golden light. Top-shelf bottles lined the shelves like artwork. The crowd was what you'd expect. Sharp suits, designer heels, the scent of money in the air. And then there was me. Worn boots, thrifted jacket, already wondering if I'd made a mistake. Before I could turn around and leave, the woman behind the bar noticed me. "You must be Ethan," she said, drying her hands on a towel. She was tall, effortlessly cool, sleek black hair pulled back into a low ponytail. I nodded, trying to sound like I wasn't falling apart inside. "Yeah, that's me. Have a seat. Lucas will be with you in a minute." Lucas, the boss. I took a deep breath and slid onto a bar stool, pressing my hands against my jeans to calm the nerves. Then I felt it. A presence. A shadow fell across me just before a voice, low, smooth, and edged with something sharp, cut through the quiet. "Ethan, right?" I turned. And damn, there he was. Lucas. Tall, broad shoulders, a force of nature in a fitted black dress shirt, sleeves rolled up just enough to show powerful forearms, veins etched like lines on a map. Gray eyes locked onto mine, cool, unreadable, dissecting. His jawline was sharp, his dark hair tousled in a way that looked accidental but perfect. And his lips, halfway between a smirk and something serious. He didn't ask for attention. He didn't need to. I stood up, too fast, and nearly knocked over the stool. "Yeah, that's me," I said, reaching to shake his hand. His grip was firm, confident, the kind that says he's in charge, and knows it. "Glad you made it," he said, his tone polite, but there was something underneath it, something measuring. He nodded toward a small table near the back. "Let's see what you've got." I followed, heart thudding in my chest like a warning bell. He flipped through my resume, slow and silent. didn't even look at me. It was like he already knew what he thought of me, but wanted to make me sweat anyway. "You've got some experience," he finally said, setting the paper aside. "That's good. But working here? It's not just about pouring drinks." I nodded, keeping my posture steady. "I can handle it." Lucas leaned back, arms crossing his chest. "We'll see about that." Then he pushed an order slip toward me. "Make these." I scanned the list. 5 drinks. All different, all complicated. Some I'd made before. Others I'd have to rely on instinct. I stepped behind the bar, fully aware of his eyes tracking my every move. My hands got to work, grabbing bottles, measuring, pouring, shaking. The first drink was smooth. The second, a little rushed. The third, by the time I slid the last glass forward, my pulse was pounding. I met his gaze, head on. He picked up one of the drinks and took a slow sip. For a moment, I swear the corner of his mouth twitched, almost like he was impressed. Then he set the glass down. "Not bad," I exhaled, finally allowing myself to breathe. But before I could feel any sense of relief, his eyes met mine again. "You're not getting special treatment," he said. "If you work here, you keep up, or you're out. Understood?" I nodded. "Understood." He studied me for a beat too long. Then, with a small flick of his wrist, he motioned toward the bar. "You start now." Tonight, hours later, I'm behind the bar, watching the place come alive. Wealthy patrons pour in, ordering overpriced cocktails and murmuring about deals, stocks, and weekend getaways. Lucas moves through the crowd like he owns it, because he does. Effortless, unshakable. And every so often, I catch him watching me, testing me. At first I thought I was imagining it, but then his gaze lingers. When he corrects my grip on the shaker, his fingers graze mine, a spark shooting up my arm. When he stands too close, when his voice drops just a bit lower than necessary. I kept telling myself it was nothing, that I was just reading into it. But there's something about the way Lucas looks at me, pushes me, that feels different. And something about how my body reacts. That's starting to feel dangerous. The first few nights at Nocturne are a blur of noise and chaos. Fast hands, endless orders. I barely have time to think, let alone breathe, before another glass is shoved into my hand. It's brutal. And Lucas? He's relentless. Every time I think I've caught my rhythm, he's there, watching, correcting, pushing me harder than I ever thought possible. "You're slow," he says one night, brushing past me to grab a bottle off the shelf. "Pick it up." I grit my teeth, swallowing the frustration. A second later, he's back. "And your pour's off. If the drink isn't consistent, the customer notices. We don't get second chances here." I exhale sharply, trying to keep my cool. "I'm doing my best." Lucas gives me a sidelong glance, his lips twitching into something close to a smirk. "Do better." I clench my jaw and refocus on the drinks lined up in front of me. It's not just that he's strict, it's how he does it. Always a step ahead. Always knowing exactly how far to push before I snap. And the worst part? I can't stop noticing him. The way he moves, sharp, precise, calculated. The way his sleeves are always rolled up just enough to show the strong lines of his forearms as he mixes a cocktail. The way his voice dips low when he leans in to give instructions. Too close. Too intimate for a job. I tell myself it's just intimidation, that I'm overthinking it. But then, "Fix your collar," he murmurs one night just as the rush starts to fade, brushing against my throat as he straightens my tie and smooths the fold of my shirt like it actually matters to him. I go rigid. Lucas doesn't step back. His knuckles graze my skin, just barely. "There," he says, voice low and smooth. "Now you look like you belong here." I can't even speak. He steps back, a smug little smirk playing on his lips. Like he knows exactly what just happened. Like he's waiting to see what I'll do with it. And I hate that it's working. By the end of the week, I've had enough. Not of the job, I still need this job, but of Lucas. Of him breathing down my neck, calling out every little mistake, always pushing, always circling. I snap. It happens late into the shift, after hours of him nitpicking, correcting, challenging me in ways that feel way too personal. I slam a shaker onto the bar and turn on him. What is your problem? My voice is lower than I meant it to be, sharp with frustration. Lucas raises a brow, completely unfazed. Excuse me? You've been riding me all week, I say, stepping in. I'm busting my ass and it's still not good enough for you. What do you want from me? The bar's mostly empty now. Only a few stragglers left. But the air between us, it's heavy. Lucas tilts his head, those piercing gray eyes locked on mine. Then he smirks. You tell me. I freeze. Because suddenly, it's not just about the job. It's the way he's looking at me. Like he's waiting for me to understand something I haven't yet. The way he steps just a little closer, the heat of him almost brushing mine. The way my breath catches in my chest, my fists curling. Not from anger, from something else. Something I don't know how to name. Lucas watches too closely, like he's trying to unravel me. Like he already knows what's beneath the surface. And that terrifies me. I tear my gaze away, shake my head. Forget it. Lucas doesn't chase. He just gives me that same maddening smirk and steps back. Sure, Ethan. But the way he says my name, slow, deliberate, sticks with me. That night, I try to shake the tension off. I bury myself in the work, pouring drinks, clearing tables, doing anything to avoid looking at him. And then, trouble walks in. A group of loud, already half-drunk guys crowd into a booth near the back. At first, they're just obnoxious, slurring orders, laughing too loud, but then, one of them gets handsy, grabs at a waitress, blocks her path when she tries to walk away. My pulse spikes. I should ignore it. It's not my job. But then I see her pull away, discomfort all over her face, and something inside me snaps. I move. Hey, I say, stepping between them. She's working. Leave her alone. One guy, broad, sloppy, shirt half unbuttoned, leans back, sizing me up. Heart pounds, panic flaring through me. And then Lucas is there. I don't even see him move. 1 second he's behind the bar. The next he's in front of me. His hand clamps around the guy's wrist with a quiet, unshakable grip. The room shifts. Lucas doesn't say a word at first, just holds the guy's gaze with something dark and dangerous burning behind his eyes. Then, in a voice cold and controlled, he says, "You touch one of my employees again, and I'll personally make sure you never step foot in this bar, or any other." The guy hesitates. Lucas doesn't. He tightens his grip. Not enough to hurt, but enough to make his point. The guy lets go of me. His friends drag him out before it escalates. And when they're gone, Lucas turns to me. His expression shifts. Not angry, something else. "You okay?" he asks. I nod, still too stunned to speak. Lucas watches me for a long moment, then glances down, to where the guy had grabbed me. Before I can stop him, his fingers brush my wrist. Gentle, too gentle. I swallow hard. "I had it under control," Lucas smirks. "Sure you did." But his hand lingers. I pull away, too fast. He doesn't stop me. But the smirk fades, just a little, like he wasn't expecting me to back off so quickly. The air between us is thick, heavy. And that night, as we close the bar together, I feel it, still hanging there, unspoken, undeniable. Lucas works in silence, so do I. But when our eyes meet across the empty bar, we both know, this thing between us, it's not going away. It's not going away. And maybe I don't want it to. But I didn't realize how much more was still to come between us. The nights at Nocturne have started to blur together. The chaos, the noise, the never-ending stream of drinks and conversations. They've melted into a rhythm I've finally learned to keep up with. My hands move faster now. My instincts are sharper. Even Lucas doesn't correct every little move I make anymore. But the tension between us, that's only gotten worse. It's in the way his eyes linger a second too long, in how he stands just a little too close when there's no reason to. It's in those in-between moments, after a rush, before the bar resets, when the world slows down, and it's just him and me. At first I told myself it was nothing, just part of the job. His way of keeping me alert. But the longer I'm here, the harder it is to pretend. Lucas isn't just watching me like a boss watching an employee. It's different, intentional. And the worst part? I like it. Tonight is no different. The bar's finally quiet, just the soft hum of jazz in the background, the clink of glass as we finish cleaning. I should be tired, but I'm wired, too aware of the man across from me, wiping down the counter with that same easy, practiced calm. Lucas hasn't said much, but I feel his eyes on me, like he's waiting. I try to focus on stacking glasses, pretending I don't notice. Then his voice cuts through the quiet. "You're getting better," he says, smooth and casual. "Almost like you belong here." I glance up, wary. "Almost?" Lucas smirks. "Don't get cocky." I roll my eyes, shaking my head. "You'd still find something to complain about, even if I was perfect." He leans on the counter, eyes sharp. "You like proving yourself to me, don't you?" The air shifts. My fingers freeze around the glass. The words shouldn't mean anything. They should be just another one of his games. But something in his tone, low, almost teasing, sends heat through me. And I hate that he's right. I do like proving myself to him. I like the way he watches me, the way he expects more. I set the glass down, laughing it off. "You're full of yourself." Lucas raises a brow. "Am I wrong?" I don't answer, because I don't know how. And that silence, that's the mistake. Lucas moves, not fast, not aggressive, just one careful step closer. My breath catches, pulse hammering. "Tell me I'm wrong," he said, but I don't. Lucas watches me, waiting, reading me. Then, before I can think, before I can stop it, he leans in, his face is just inches from mine. His breath brushes my skin. His fingers reach up, light, questioning, grazing my jaw. He's giving me the chance to pull away. But I don't. And then he kisses me. It's not soft. It's not cautious. It's heat and pressure, and all the tension we've been pretending didn't exist. Unleashed. For a second, I don't move, too stunned. But then, I kiss him back. A low sound rumbles from his throat as his hand slides to the back of my neck, pulling me closer. My fingers grab at his shirt, holding on like I might fall if I don't. The rest of the world disappears. The job, the bar, the risks. None of it matters. Just Lucas, his mouth on mine. His body against me, and the undeniable truth. I want this more than I should. His hand moves to my waist, firm and possessive, making my breath hitch. His scent, sharp, clean, with hints of whiskey and cologne, wraps around me, drowning out reason. Every logical voice in my head screams this is wrong, that I need to stop. But logic is gone. The kiss deepens, deliberate, consuming, like he's claiming every inch of hesitation left inside me. His lips press harder, his fingers tighten, and I let out a sound I can't hold back. It's reckless, it's wild, but I don't want it to stop. Then, panic. I break the kiss, stumble back, breath shaky. Lucas doesn't move, doesn't chase, just watches me, his eyes dark, unreadable. I stare at him, heart racing. What the hell did I just do? 1,000 thoughts crash through my mind. This is my boss. This is my job. I can't do this. Lucas stays calm, infuriatingly so. Then he smirks. "You started it," he says, voice low and amused. "I just finished it." I shake my head, still dazed. He doesn't look away. And in that moment, I realize, this changes everything. I tell myself it was a mistake, a lapse in judgment, a moment of weakness. But that lie doesn't even last a day. The next night at Nocturne, everything is different. The air feels charged, heavy. It lingers in every glance, every touch, every silence that stretches a little too long. Lucas acts normal, or at least his version of it. He calls out orders, moves like nothing's changed. But I feel it, the way his gaze follows me from across the room, the way he stands too close, smirks too long. He doesn't mention the kiss, doesn't bring it up, doesn't need to. I try to act like nothing happened, try to ignore the way my body reacts whenever he brushes past me, when his hand grazes my back, when his arm brushes mine. I try to breathe through the way my thoughts spiral whenever he leans in too close, voice low, intimate. Table 5, neat whiskey, a line, but I don't, because I don't want him to stop, and that's the problem. I hate how much I crave it, how much I want him to keep pushing, keep testing, keep seeing how far I'll go. And I do. The second kiss isn't a mistake. I start it. It happens late at night in the stockroom. The bar's empty, the lights low, jazz still playing faintly in the background. We're restocking bottles. Lucas is close, too close. Every time he reaches around me, his fingers graze mine. And every time, something tightens inside me. It's maddening, it's electric, and it builds, until I can't take it anymore. I grab him. He hits the shelf with a soft thud, eyes widening slightly as I press in, hands fisting in his shirt. He doesn't stop me, doesn't smirk, doesn't speak, just watches me, waiting, daring. And then I kiss him, harder this time, desperate, real. My hands tug at his shirt, pulling him closer. His mouth meets mine, hungry, demanding. His hands grip my waist, dragging me against him until my back hits the opposite shelf. Bottles rattle, but I barely notice. All I feel is heat, breath, friction, his mouth, his body, this fire between us. His hands roam lower, fingertips digging into my hips. A gasp escapes me, and he growls in response, deep, low, primal. The kiss deepens again, tongue, teeth, breathless urgency. It's messy, it's dangerous. It's everything I've been trying not to want, but I want it, I want him. And for the first time in a long time, I feel alive. Then, footsteps. Lucas pulls back instantly, just as the door swings open. I manage to step away, barely, before Mia pokes her head in. "There you guys are," she says, oblivious. "Lucas, I need you up front." He clears his throat, voice calm like nothing just happened. "Be right there." I stand frozen, breath uneven, heart racing. What did I just do? Was this a mistake? Or something I've needed for longer than I realized? The door shuts behind her. Silence. Lucas straightens his shirt, smirking. "That was close," he murmurs, voice low and teasing. I glare. "Shut up." He chuckles, then steps in again, crowding me against the shelf. His lips hover near mine. "You like the risk, don't you?" he whispers. I don't answer, because he's right. The thrill, the secrecy, it only makes it worse. And that kiss? That night? It's just the beginning. After that, we can't stop. Already unsteady, I feel his breath ghost my skin. Lucas smirks. "Then you better keep quiet." But I don't. I turn around, grab him by the collar, and crash my mouth against his. The kiss is messy, needy, raw, dangerous. His hands find my waist, pulling me closer, stealing the air straight from my lungs. I let out a quiet, muffled sound. Lucas groans in response, his grip tightening. Then, the door creaks. We break apart in his breath, adjusting his shirt like it's no big deal. But when our eyes meet across the bar, we both know this is dangerous. We should stop. We need to stop, but neither of us will. Because the truth is, I don't want to. And neither does he. I keep telling myself that what's happening between us is nothing. Just a reckless game. A secret fling destined to burn out before it becomes real. But that lie is getting harder to hold on to. Because I want more. And that terrifies me. The past few weeks have been a blur. Stolen touches, whispers in the dark, kisses that leave me breathless and aching for more. We've been pushing every line, testing how far we can go before someone notices, before we crash. I try to ignore how Lucas pulls me aside just to feel my skin, how he steals kisses when no one's looking like he can't help himself. I try not to see the way his grip tightens on my waist whenever someone flirts with me at the bar, how his jaw locks even when he pretends not to care. And I pretend I don't catch the way his eyes go darker when I talk to someone else for too long, how he always finds a reason to interrupt, to remind me and them who really has my attention. Lucas acts like this is nothing, like it's casual, controlled, but his actions say something else entirely. And so do mine. Because for all the pretending, I don't want this to stop. And that's the problem. Something has to give. It happens out of nowhere. Gary, the owner of Nocturne, calls me into his office before my shift. We've barely spoken before, just passing hellos. So when he gestures for me to sit, I know it's something big. "You've been doing good work," he says, leaning back in his chair with a look I can't read. "Lucas speaks highly of you." I try not to react. Try not to let the idea of Lucas saying my name behind closed doors do something to me. But it does. Gary continues, "We're opening a new section. A private lounge for VIP guests. I want you to step up. Take on more responsibility. You'd be working directly under Lucas. More pay, more influence. He slides a folder across the desk. What do you think? I freeze. This is everything I've wanted. A chance to prove myself, to belong here. But working under Lucas, that's a dangerous ask. Take your time, Gary says, but don't take too long. A lot of people would kill for this spot. I nod. But my mind is spinning, because deep down I already know what I want. I just don't know if I'm brave enough to choose it. That night, everything feels heavier. The secret between us, the touches, the way Lucas brushes past me like he owns me. I should tell him about the offer. I should talk to him. But I don't, because I know what he'll say. I know he'll push me toward a choice I'm not ready to make. And deep down, I already made it. The bar is packed, Friday night chaos, music loud, bodies moving in rhythm. I'm behind the counter, focused on orders, pretending I don't feel Lucas watching me. Then it happens. A customer. Drunk. Cocky. Too familiar. He leans in, smirking. You're new, right? He slurs. I like the way you work. Smooth. Focused. I nod politely, trying to move on. But then he grabs my wrist. Something sharp cuts through the noise. Possessive. Wrong. And then Lucas is there. He doesn't say a word. Just steps between us. A wall of heat and tension, his body stiff with barely restrained anger. The guy blinks, confused. Chill, man. I was just talking. He's busy, Lucas says. His voice is calm, sharp, lethal. The guy scoffs, mutters something, and stumbles off. Lucas doesn't move, not right away. And when he finally turns to me, his eyes are burning. I need to know, talking about us. And suddenly, everything I've been avoiding crashes down on me. I could walk away, pretend this never happened, keep it safe. Or I could take the risk, step fully into this, knowing we might not come back from it. The bar fades. The music, the voices, the crowd. Gone. It's just Lucas. Just me. Just this moment. He steps closer. The space between us collapsing. His fingers graze my wrist, tracing the spot the guy grabbed earlier. The touch is light, intentional, charged. I see how you look at me, he murmurs. How you react when I touch you. I swallow hard, my pulse thunderous in my ears. You pretend this is nothing, he says, but it's not. So tell me, Ethan, are you in? My breath catches. Because the truth is, I made my choice the night I first kissed him back. The moment I let him in. The moment I stopped fighting it. I step forward, heart pounding, and I kiss him, right there, in the middle of the bar. It's reckless. It's public. And I don't care. Lucas doesn't hesitate. His hands are on me instantly, pulling me in, kissing me like he's been waiting for this moment forever. The room is still noisy, still alive, but for us, time stops. He kisses me like he's claiming something that was already his, and I let him. When we break apart, I'm breathless, lips tingling, head spinning. Lucas meets my gaze, his voice low, certain. No more games. I nod, exhaling hard. No more games. He watches me for a long beat, his expression unreadable. But his eyes, they say everything. Something real is happening, and neither of us is ready to name it. We'll figure it out, he says. His voice steady. Sure. Like he's already made peace with the storm we're about to walk into. But had I? The weight of it settles over me. There's no going back now, no pretending, no undoing what just happened. And still, where do we go from here? How do we keep this alive in a world that won't understand? A world that could turn on us in an instant, that could take everything away. The choice is simple and impossible. Walk away, pretend it meant nothing, and live with the ache of what could have been. Or step forward, into the unknown, into something that could ruin us, or change everything. I don't have all the answers. But as I stand there, still tasting him on my lips, still feeling his hand on my wrist, something inside me shifts. I don't need to know what comes next. What matters is this. Whatever this is, it's real. And when Lucas pulls me into another kiss, when the world narrows to just him, I know one thing for sure. I'm done pretending this isn't real.